Educator Podcast, your place for personalized professional learning to go. Join me as I discuss educational topics that empower educators to take control and ownership of their own professional learning. I'm your host, Mel Vandevort. Empowered Educator and Digital PD for You have partnered together to bring you the Ignite Leadership Virtual Summit coming March 11th through the 13th, 2021. This virtual summit will highlight leadership knowledge and wisdom of educational leaders. Submit your proposals now to be part of this event. A link to more information and the proposal form can be found in the show notes. We are proudly partnering with Wakelet and Pear Deck for this event. Hello everyone and happy Friday. We're off to a good start in January, and today I would like to talk to you about what is your more. Isaiah 59:17 says, "He put on righteousness as his breastplate and the helmet of salvation on his head. He put on the garments of vengeance and wrapped himself in zeal, as in a cloak." We can all give more, learn more, be more tomorrow than we are today. What does that look like for you? Is it learning to use a new app in class? Is it going back to college? Is it moving into a leadership role? Is it writing a book? Is it effecting change and making a difference? Whatever it is, take your place. Move into uncomfortable. Take a chance. Fail forward. But move. There are a few things to help you move forward and do more. Number 1, pursue change with a purpose and persistence. Sitting with the comfort of status quo and only conforming to the standards that are already in place is a rough row to hoe when pushing for better curriculum, equity in education, professional development change, and other changes. We've heard it said before, there is no growth in a comfort zone. We have to be agents of change, especially during this unprecedented time. To do that, we have to challenge the status quo, not just accept it. We've all heard, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But what if it works, just not well? When your car has an issue but still runs, you fix it before the problem becomes worse and ends up causing bigger problems. We cannot afford to wait to fix things in education. Some things work in education, but is it good practice? Is it what is best for students, teachers, parents, or the community? Don't we owe all these groups one or more of which we ourselves fit into? More than that? In a college class and at church, I've taken a couple of gifts and talent inventories to find my strength areas. I'm now using those to fulfill my purpose. Right now, at this season in my life, I am quite sure that my purpose is to affect change in professional learning. My dissertation is about professional learning. This podcast is based around professional learning. My job has a professional learning component. When you seek the purpose God has made for you, it will be revealed without any doubt. Your purpose and your passion go hand in hand. But you also have to be persistent in the pursuit of change. Trying once and giving up will never get you past that status quo. Make a plan to get you where you want to go and how you will get there. I want professional learning to be a big part of education. I have a plan to get there, and I am researching the best methods of professional learning. I'm also working with another leader in education to host the Ignite Leadership Summit. There is networking to be done to become a united front for teacher education. Take your place. Confucius says, "When you are laboring for others, let it be with the same zeal as if it were for yourself." So that leads me to number 2. Be zealous and passionate in the pursuit of change. Have you ever watched your child or your students try to beat a level of a game? They will try over and over, even changing strategies or getting help until they succeed in beating the level. We should pursue our passions with the same zeal. When you have zeal, you pursue something with a lot of energy or enthusiasm. Being an agent of change involves hard work, and often it is easy to get discouraged and give up. Attitude is important. It is easy to be on fire, positive, and ready to change the world when we want to see something change and are working to make it happen. The problem lies with change that doesn't happen on our schedule. I have found out that God works on His own schedule, and no matter how much whining or begging I do, it will happen when He is ready, and that it happens when the timing is perfect. However, God doesn't want us to sit around and wait for a miracle. We are called to work and fulfill our purpose while waiting. That includes changing something that we're passionate about. God gives us passion to evoke change, but He expects us to work for it. He isn't going to change things without His people working for it. Work with zeal and be on fire for what you want to see happen. Right now, at this season in my life, I'm all about targeted professional learning to increase pedagogy, and I am pursuing it with zeal. Take your place. Pursue change with character and integrity. This statement holds much more meaning in light of the recent events the last few days. There is never integrity when your pursuit turns physical or violent. I have seen very good people forget who they are in pursuit of their passion. They forget that their character can be compromised, and integrity is something that they thought they would never lose. Be someone of good moral character that people can trust to get the job done, and done with integrity. This is for every side of every issue. Blaming, shaming, and provoking does not show integrity or intelligence. It shows a lack of both. Define your values and morals and make sure to keep those in the forefront. I feel like we have moved to human entitlement now, but never forget you were made to serve, not be served. God has already defined your purpose, but you have to stand firm in your principles and make them your top priority. Take your place. I hope my children see me as someone who works to make things better than they were yesterday the right way. They have seen me sit at the kitchen counter, mainly because I don't have a desk in my house, and work endlessly on different passion projects. My podcast microphone is an almost permanent part of my countertop, my kitchen countertop decor. They've been able to see my contributing chapter to EduMatch Snapshot in Education 2020 and how excited I was to have a tangible copy in my hand. So set intimidating goals. Goals that are almost too big to be attainable. SAFE is just that, safe. SAFE doesn't create change. Let yourself be intimidated by what might happen if you move forward. If you feel intimidated by how big your goal is, then you're on the right track. Put away reservations about not having anything to say or anything worth hearing. Start a blog and get your feelings down for others to read. Start a podcast so others can soak in what you have to say. Seek those outlets to get your passionate message across. I'm working on a manuscript. I've written and rewritten several parts of it, and I've reached out to a publisher, and I'm working hard to get my passion project in a format that I hope evokes at least a little thought about changing the way we do professional learning. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Recently, I've connected with several educators that have the same passion I have for professional learning. By taking a chance and putting together the Ignite Summit, I was able to connect with them. If I hadn't gotten the courage and started putting together this learning opportunity, I would not have connected with those educators. Speak it out loud to others. When you say it to others, you are much more likely to follow through. I reached out to Jamie Fowler White about putting together this summit. If I hadn't voiced it, there likely wouldn't be one happening in March. If I'd tried to do it alone, I would have become overwhelmed and would have quit. She and I complement the work of the other. There are strength areas that she has that I don't, and vice versa. Example, I love making graphics. She told me that's not her thing. However, she is great with all the little details, while I miss some of them. She's also submitted to speaking events while I have not. Yeah, leave it to me to have so much zeal for a project that I head up something that I've never taken part in before. Allow for failure. Change is hard, not only for those trying to create it, but for those who fit somewhere in the momentum of change. Give yourself grace for not being completely successful in every single part of your change initiative. Craig Rochelle said, "Give yourself room to rise, but permission to fail." That takes the pressure off of you having to be completely successful in every single part of your initiative. In the end, it's all about getting yourself moving. Figure out what your more is and make it happen. Get your go on. Take your place. Thank you for joining me today on Empowered Educator. All of the information and links from today's podcast will be on my website, empowerededucator.com. You can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher. Remember, professional learning should be sustainable, applicable, active, and targeted. So power up for personalized professional learning to go.